Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us for KREM 2 News at 5. I'm Whitney Ward. Mark is off tonight. We begin with heartbreaking news after that gas station explosion in Idaho. 2 more victims have been found. Today, the remains of 2 people were found inside the station after that tanker exploded on Wednesday. It makes 2 fatalities now and 2 additional people in the hospital with critical injuries. KREM 2's Christian Garza has been following this story since it happened and worked with the fire marshal to bring us new details now. Christian?
Idaho State Fire Marshal Knut Sandel says after investigating all day on Thursday, 2 bodies were found inside the rubble of the gas station. It's believed they were both inside of the building when the tanker exploded. Those victims are currently being identified by the Clearwater County coroner, so their families can be notified. Atkinson Distributing Manager Jeff Adams confirmed that the 2 people who survived the explosion are Atkinson employees. Now, they were both airlifted to a Seattle hospital in critical condition. Idaho State Fire Marshal Sandel says investigators from the Occupational Safety and Health Administration, as well as the National Transportation Safety Board, are en route to the scene to help. According to the Atkinson Distributing's website, the Cardiff gas station is only used during logging season. I did ask both a Clearwater County investigator and the fire marshal how this happened in the first place, but they say the cause of the explosion is still under investigation and it could take several weeks to determine exactly what happened. All future updates on the victims will come from the coroner's office. We'll keep monitoring the story as it develops and bring you the very latest. Christian Garza, KREM 2 News.
Construction season is still upon us, and with multiple projects happening all across the city of Spokane, one local business says year after year their success is being impacted. KREM 2's Connor McAvoy is joining us now live outside of Market Street Pizza with more. Connor?
The city is undergoing a street maintenancing project, getting a whole new layer of pavement, causing the southbound lanes on Market Street to be closed. And members of Market Street Pizza tell me that it's costing them.
While the city is undergoing the project, the construction is blocking off a point of entry for Market Street Pizza.
The biggest concern is, keeping my staff with hours.
Manager Joe Glatt says the construction is something the restaurant's seen for the last several years, getting notices from the city ahead of time, but that doesn't stop his concern growing each year.
I got a lot of single parents here, and so we just completely we slow so far down. Starting July, it's tough to just make ends meet.
Tough to make ends meet as the Washington Department of Transportation reports a closure of the roundabouts at Freya and access to the North Spokane corridors starting Monday. That could increase traffic accessing Market Street. Kristen Davis with the city of Spokane says they'll be looking to minimize any overlap with both projects. Glatt says the construction takes its toll on the business, not just financially.
4,000 and 5,000 pound vehicles are strolling through here. It's really rough on the concrete and the asphalt.
Glatt says his regular customers are loyal, making their way through the necessary routes to eat at their establishment. But that's not all he relies on.
To the new patrons who are just trying to find us, it's such a struggle that they turn around and just don't come because it's just too hard to get into the restaurant.
Glatt tells me that he hopes more customers, especially those newer people coming to Spokane, take up the detour to get to the business as they wait for construction season to end. In Spokane, Connor McAvoy, KREM 2 News.
Connor, thank you very much. Well, it has been one crisis after another at Boeing, and now the company's first strike since 2008, affecting thousands of workers in Washington. The vote passed by 96% yesterday, putting 33,000 machinists on the picket line, and that includes some in Moses Lake. The union rejected the company's offer for a 25% wage increase over 4 years, a $3,000 lump sum payment, enhanced retirement plans, lower employee health care costs, plus 12 weeks of paid parental leave. Now, the longer this drags on, it also delays deliveries of airplanes that could already be late to major customers like United and Southwest Airlines, and that disrupts their ability to run their businesses. Machinists are pushing for a 40% pay increase, saying unlike the company's executives, their wages have been stagnant.
We're just looking forward to bring back some kind of consideration from our CEOs, recognize who's building these planes out here on the floor.
For Boeing, the strike follows a series of crises with both airplanes and spacecraft. Its stock has plummeted, and the walkout could cost the company billions. Also tonight, we are hearing from Boeing's CFO, Brian West. He says the company was disappointed, but now all attention is focused on coming up with an agreement that addresses workers' concerns. He says the CEO is actively working towards a solution, adding that Boeing wants to return to the bargaining table.
Our immediate focus is to be laser-like focused on actions to conserve cash, and we will.
He says any financial impact will be dictated by the duration of the work stoppage. And our state leaders are also reacting to the strike. Governor Jay Inslee weighed in on social media, saying that Washington's machinists are among the most skilled in the world, and their knowledge and expertise is why Boeing is globally recognized as a world-class company. We all hope that the machinists and Boeing come to an agreement as soon as possible. All right, let's turn our attention now outside as we talk weather for the weekend. It actually turned out to be a pretty nice day out there. So let's send it over to our chief meteorologist, Jeremy Legoo, for a look at the weekend.
Well, I was just checking some of the temperatures around the region, and it doesn't look too terribly bad. 72 degrees here in town, and 72 feels quite warm if you find some of that sunshine. By the way, we'll have to do this to get rid of it. There we go. These are what we call fair weather cumulus clouds. It means things are great. But notice the clouds, we're going to do this thing again. Notice the clouds above them. See those wispy high ones? They tell us something is coming. So with our temperatures in the low 70s and a mix of clouds and sun today, we look to the west knowing that there are clouds overrunning our low atmosphere fair weather clouds. That is a sign of something moving in. That something is already hitting the west side, and it is our next weather maker. Those clouds signify that we have moisture and energy moving into the atmosphere, and we get that just in time for the weekend. It likely starts before the sun comes up tomorrow, and it's likely out by the time the sun comes up tomorrow. So if you have any outdoor plans, I think you're pretty good unless you're up in the mountains. Even then, the rain will be dismally light. I threw a raindrop on both Saturday and Sunday because there will be a few isolated raindrops, but the chances of rain are not great. We'll talk why that is coming up, but for now, just know, mostly cloudy and low 70s.